President, International President, Mr. Burton from Norman, Oklahoma. Nice to see you, and Stella and distinguished guests for Rotary. I've got a lovely speech here that somebody gave me, and I'm not going to use it because Mark twigged me to something here. I will say this, the Rotary does amazing work, but I want to just recognize the kind of work that Rotary does and that has touched this community as it has touched so many. Some years ago, my father, who passed away just over a decade ago, went to a country in Africa called Niger, which at the time was the second poorest country on earth, and discovered a need for health care in that country. He came back home and said, what am I going to do? And what he did was, one of the first things he did was he went to the Rotary Club of Dartmouth. And there's members here, I'm sure, who remember that time that my father went there. And that Rotary Club of Dartmouth supported that project, raised money, and started to help people literally half a world away who had nothing and couldn't believe that people in Canada would actually care to help them out. And that was an ongoing and sustained commitment. The club bestowed the Paul Harris Fellowship on my father for the work that he had done, but my father to his dying day was so appreciative of the work that the Rotary Club did. And as our family, I can tell you that we appreciate it as well. And we have somebody else in this room. I don't know if he's still here. Is Luke here? Luke McDonald? So here's Luke. Now Luke started a program here in Dartmouth, and some of you will in Halifax, called Sparks Fly. Now some of you may not be familiar with that, but his idea was that we have a lot of kids in school who aren't connecting with the school system. And one of the ways to reconnect them with the school system was exercise. And he started this program. He came to see me. And I said, man, you got to be crazy. This is going to really work. What he does is he takes bikes and he puts them in the classroom. And he gets kids going, connecting exercise to thought. And it has been an amazing success. It started. These Sparks bikes have had a huge impact, and it started with a $1,000 donation, which has been leveraged by Luke to more than $300,000, to $250,000. And how many bikes in Nova Scotia? 600?
500.
500 bikes now, more bikes than schools, and he tells me he's going to Peterborough sometime in the next little while to take this idea forward. That started because of the work of Rotarians here in Halifax. Aside from all the big things that Rotary does on the work of polio and other major diseases and fighting poverty and all those things, right here in our community we're getting the benefit of the work of people who just simply want to care. And so I mentioned my father. I want to close with my mother. My mother was the greatest person that I ever met. She passed away 6 weeks just before my father did. Actually, they died very close together. But my mother's motto in life was very simple, and it's the last line in her obituary. And the advice she always gave us, and whenever we go to Mum for advice, she'd give you a cup of tea first of all. I mean, she could have solved the Middle East with a big pot of tea. But a pot of tea, and her advice was be good to each other on any issue. And I can't think of an organization that embodies that philosophy better than Rotary International. Be good to each other, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.